Danger here from the backhand flicks. When you think about the backhand has more reach than the forehand. You can reach more into the non-volley zone. So it generally there's more danger of a flick off the backhand than there is off the forehand. If you're into strategy and want to learn from the pros, you're in the right place. This is 10 minutes of raw, unfiltered coaching breakdown of this match right here among 4 of the top players in the game. I'm going to start the clock and we're going to start rolling through it. I got Ben Johns over here with his partner Gabe Tardio. I got Federico Staksrud right here in the white and Hayden Patriquin here in the black. This is a championship match. We're in game 2. Federico and Hayden won game 1 12-10 and they're up in game 2. Let's see what Ben and Gabe do here to overcome this. Raw and unfiltered just basically means we're going to look at it together. That was an easy one there, right? Missed third, but good deep return. Good deep return is absolutely key. I get some pushback sometimes when I show the pros on their returns. When they hit short returns, they get in trouble. Deep returns work well, even at the pro level. You know, the pushbacks I can tell you don't make sense. That's a really good flick by Ben. Let's take a look at that one again. So he's going to, all day long, be willing to go cross court with Federico. Federico's willing to go cross court with him too, but you know, it's basically who messes up first. There, Federico messed up, left in a floater. Ben is going to punish that. Right now, Federico and Ben are virtually identical players in terms of how they're approaching the game. They're both willing to grind. They both have a nice roll volley, so it's almost like mirror image right now. High third, no big deal there. That happens. All right, let's see what happens now here. We got 2-4-2, it looks like. Nice third into the open spot there. Both Federico and Ben are going to be sitting on the backhand looking for a roll, as are Hayden and Gabe in the middle there, just like I said. So Gabe's going to be looking here. Ben's going to be looking on the outside. So watch here. There's going to be a middle dink. Gabe's sitting on this one here. Right? He's going to flick that one, and then Ben's ready for the put away there. So danger here, just like on the other side. Danger here from the backhand flicks. When you think about the backhand has more reach than the forehand. You can reach more into the non-volley zone. So it generally there's more danger of a flick off the backhand than there is off the forehand in most situations. And the pros are no exception there in terms of that general rule. Outside to outside there, you're not really expecting any kind of flick from the air. Now you could have a speed up off the ground there. That's unusual. That's a new thing he's doing. Let's take a look at that one again. That's not going to be Gabe's best flick there. His forehand just doesn't generate as much power, and he can't hit it as high. So he has to hit that low to high. Federico gets on top of it. Again, probably not what they're looking to do there with Ben and Gabe. And Gabe probably knows better than that. So he's still a young player, still working through it. Ben is a very system player. Ben wants to play system game. Federico mostly does too. Again, they're very similar players now. Federico designed his game around Ben's game. So that's the story anyway, that, you know, Ben being the best in the game, Federico wanted to be one of the best in the game, so Federico modeled a lot of his approach to pickleball on Ben. If you hear some noise in the background, that's the puppies down here at the feet. Speed up off the bounce there by Gabe. You will see Gabe and Hayden speed up off the bounce. You usually will not see Ben or Federico speed up off the bounce. They seem to like the analysis. That's a really nice drop to the outside there. Unless Gabe can take it out of the air, Ben's going to control that middle. So if Gabe can take it out of the air, he will. Otherwise, Ben's going to take it off of the bounce 90-some% of the time. They've really sorted that out. They used to have some issues with their middle coverage, which is perfectly normal when you're in a new partnership, but they have that sorted out pretty well right now. So see, he's looking for the flick there. He's sitting on it. Let's take a look at that one. And you'll see how I want you to focus right here, how Ben is basically going to sit here on the backhand. Watch him reach out there, try and reach it. He can really reach in with that one, then flick it up. Hayden's not sure where he's going to go, sitting inside, outside. It's very difficult to track that. All right, now we're at 3-6. Let's see what happens. I know that there's going to be a run here because Gabe and Ben end up winning this game, end up winning the match, but this game is a critical game. Again, Federico and Hayden are up 6-3, having won the first game, so if they can win this game, you know, put a vice on this. So here, that's a surprising attack by Federico, but it worked out. Usually challenging Gabe off the bounce, on his back end, risky shot, but worked out. All right, let's see what happens. We're here with Hayden and Federico, what they're going to do here. Is that in or out? I'll find out in a second. One thing I want you to notice here is Ben and Gabe are unwinding the stack. That puts them in a situation of having some difficulty there, or some risk there, not difficulty, but risk when you unwind the stack, particularly against a player like Federico, who's an excellent singles player. You know, he can drive to the open spot. Now I'm going to rewind that because I am surprised at the attack there. I'll show you in a second. So Federico chooses here to drive it where Ben is. I don't really get that because Gabe is filling in. If you're a stack player, you're going to be excited about this kind of thinking. Because you'll see it. So basically, Gabe's filling in here. So that's open. This isn't. I'm surprised that Federico attacked there. Interesting attack by Gabe off of the bounce there. But if Ben gets a hold of that one, it's toast. So yeah, I don't really mind Hayden's attack there. I thought Hayden's attack down the line there. It's an okay try. Ben was stretched out pretty far, but just didn't work out. All right, we're at 3-6. Let's see if Ben and Gabe can make some moves here. That's a good dink there. And this is the kind of thing that sometimes happens. Like a player like Hayden and Gabe, sometimes younger players, they'll take shots where shots aren't really warranted when you're in control of a game or ahead in a game. Really trying to do too much. Again, deep return, even the best players like Ben, their third shot percentages go down when the returns are deeper. They're just harder to hit from back there. Plus, they can't get up as quickly. Back to the same situation there again, right? You have basically Ben sitting on that backhand now. If I'm Federico, I'm probably not going to put many balls there now because Ben's feeling it. Watch this here. So Ben's feeling it. He's just going to flick it up. You know, I think that ball's probably going out the way it was traveling. So, but Hayden put a paddle on it, so we're play on. Those are the kind of situations when you see a player who's hot on a certain spot, maybe move it around, go more middle and then to Gabe's forehand instead of continuing to go to the outside. When you have a player like Ben Johns who's feeling that roll volley of his, which is a speciality, even if that's where you want to go. And so that's a good spot there. I'd go there, perfect, right? I'd go there and I'd go middle more. See, there again, right? Same thing, right? Just called it again. This is raw and unfiltered, guys. I didn't look at this before, but we're basically seeing repetition, right? And you don't want to see the same thing happening again and again and again. Key to playing really good pickleball as you advance through this game is picking up the patterns, right? Is seeing, hey, this player's getting really hot on that spot. They're feeling very comfortable. Don't give them the ball there, right? Move it around some from there. All right, let's see here. So we're at 6-6. Now we got a tight game here. That's a better spot there. Don't like that spot. Even if he gets it in there, that's fine. And that's the perfect spot right there. That's what I would do. I'd go to middle and then Gabe's forehand. Middle, then Gabe's forehand. I wouldn't go to the middle 3 times. They're just sitting right there waiting for it. You know, if you pull Ben in, I guess it's fine, but you're going to there twice. That's a good spot, I think. That's dangerous. Ooh, Ben was sitting on that one. He leaned in on that one. I don't like the speed up there. Again, why speed it up? You know, here's the thing. If you have a strategy that's working for you, like the grind was with Federico and Hayden, you know, speeding the ball up the bounce against a player like Gabe, probably not a good long-term strategy. You're better off just grinding. So here we go. Let's see. Okay, that's a good spot. Again, not crazy about that there, just stretching, right? Stretching a little bit, reaching, if you will, right? Going for more than you have to. By the way, this match here is a PPA match. The best players in the business are right here. Hope you're following on Pickleball TV. If you get a chance to see them live, highly recommend it. The pace of the game, even on the screen, just doesn't do it justice. See it live, it's a totally different creature there. Missed by Hayden there, not a big deal. I don't get excited about those kind of things. I get more excited about repetitions and decisions that are made as opposed to mechanical errors happen. You know, that's not the biggest deal. So here you have, that's what Federico and Hayden want to do, right? They want Federico's backhand or Hayden's backhand to be the initiator of the action there out of the air. That's a good situation for Federico, good defense there. Surprised he didn't go around to a forehand there, but there you go. That's the forehand. So you want the forehand to finish, right? This is good, nice, right? But you normally can't get as much power out of here as you can off the forehand. So you'll see he basically setting it up with the forehand. That's the kill shot right there with the forehand. I mean, the backhand, setting up with the backhand, I should have said, and then the kill with the forehand. I thought it was unfiltered. If you're enjoying this kind of unfiltered coaching, we're going to be doing more content just like this. We have an MLP one coming out with some nice MLP content and also some of my games, so you can see some more down-to-earth game than just the pro stuff, even though the pro stuff is a lot of fun to break down. All right, let's look at one more here. See the unwind there? That's a much better attack. Even though it didn't work out, let's take a look at that because I want you to see what we talked about earlier, right? You're going to have Gabe coming from left to right. So Gabe's going to be moving left to right. So see how this area is open here, right? You see the hole there? While Gabe's moving in. That's where he wants to hit it. Hit it a little bit higher than he wanted to, I think. See, so that ball went a little higher than he wanted to. Gabe gave a ball a little bit higher than he wanted to. But it's still a good place to come in and then create an attack opportunity there. So again, he missed it by a little bit, but not the end of the world in terms of not the end of the world. It was a good attack. It was a right place to put the ball. Just missed the height of it a little bit. When you're playing players who are trying to unwind a stack on the return side, probably a lot of opportunity there if you know how to attack it the way Federico did here. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. The alarm has gone off, so we're 10 minutes in, 10 minutes out. Be on the lookout for our next totally raw and unrefined, or whatever you want to call it, breakdown strategy. I'll see you next time.